旧他乡及故乡。
When the first ray of the sun shines through the dark alleys, the ancient Wanli village awakens. This is a very important day for the villagers. They have to go to the Taiha Charitable Institution early.
I can say that I feel very happy. Every time I help the families who are in need.
Of course, I am very happy.
Tongfang and Taiha charitable institutions in Wanli village have organized an event to help the needy. Poor families from Wanli and neighboring villages can receive several packaged goods, as long as they present the vouchers issued to them by the sub-district office. With the voucher, they get 2 bags of rice, 2 bottles of oil, and 2 bags of flour. These can support a family of 3 for at least 2 months. Wanli village is located in Chaoan district, Chaozhou, Guangdong province. It was first built during the southern Song dynasty. Families from different ancestors now live here. Since ancient times, the village has been famous in Chaozhou for its charitable and virtuous people. Every year, the village organizes activities to help people in need. Locals donate money or help out as much as they can.
When you plan to organize an activity like this, how do you notify those who want to donate money?
There's no need to notify them. Whenever they hear that we're planning to organize an activity like this, they come to donate money on their own.
Tell me, sir, how often do you visit the village to donate or help out?
Twice a year.
How long have you been doing this?
10 years.
10 years?
10 years.
And you never stopped?
I always donate whatever I can.
The Tongfang and Taiha charities have a special position in the village. Their branches in Wanli serve as the headquarters of all Tongfang and Taiha institutions in Chaoshan district. When a plague broke out in Chaozhou during Emperor Guangxu's reign, the squires of Wanli village called the people and created the 2 charities to treat and help the victims for free. Both institutions have already done countless charitable works. Professor Pang Lin at Tsinghua University deeply appreciates the villagers for setting up these institutions.
Setting up the charitable institution spontaneously was a very important decision. Both institutions rely on the villagers' willingness to be charitable, to help people. Now, instead of depending on the government to address their needs, the villagers make it their responsibility to solve their own problems, and they keep on exploring different solutions to keep our society peaceful and happy.
All the charities in Chaozhou consecrate the same founder, Song Dafang. Song Dafang lived during Emperor Huizhong's reign in the northern Song dynasty. According to legend, there was a plague in Chaozhou in the year 1220. Song Dafang was 81 years old then. On hearing this news, he journeyed from Fujian to help, despite the risk of being infected. With his medical skills, Song Dafang saved many people. In addition to giving free medicine, he also built the nearly 108-meter-long Peace Bridge for the locals. He was compassionate to all living beings while he was alive. After he died, He was called the god of charity. For thousands of years, people here have been creating charities with Song Da Feng in mind.
Sang Da Feng is consecrated in over 300 charities. That number is only for the entire Chaoshan district, but it's 500 institutions in total across Southeast Asia. People in the Chaoshan district remember him, and they will never forget him.
Charitable institutions like those in Chaozhou are now also present all over China, Malaysia, Singapore, and other countries, spreading the Chinese culture of charity across the world.
When the overall welfare of the society is compromised, or shall we say at risk, someone may stand up from the crowd with the intention of easing the anxiety experienced by the people. And sometimes it will be at the cost of his own life and personal well-being. But in doing this, he will be worshipped. He will be recognized by the whole nation because of his good deeds. That was exactly what happened with Song Da Feng during those times. Now, no matter what situation the nation is experiencing, they will remain hopeful and inspired, knowing that someone like him will willingly stand up and risk his life for them. Song Da Feng will never be forgotten because they continuously honor his memory to this day.
The money raised by the Tongfeng charity reaches nearly 3 million yuan every year. All donations are given voluntarily. All funds are used to help those in need because what comes from the people should be used for the people.
Do your charitable organizations cater to all the people of Wanli Village, or do they only cater to specific families? No, the charities have no criteria. What do you mean by that? There is no criteria. We do not choose who we help. We cater to everyone. Regardless of where a person is from, we will help them. People from all regions are welcome. Our charities will be glad to reach out to whoever is in need of assistance.
Recent donations are posted on the board at the corner of Tongfeng Charitable Institution. There are regulations regarding the distribution of funds. Amounts less than 2,000 yuan can be approved by the president, but amounts above 2,000 must be approved by all members through voting.
And now, for everyone who is in favor of granting this amount, kindly raise your hands to vote.
In his 60s, Xie Yuezhang still works diligently as the president of the institution.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Xie Lianggao has traveled a long way to come to Wanli Village. He is a farmer from Raoping County, Chaozhou. Every year, he visits Xie Yuezhang to give him sweet potatoes and eggs from the farm to repay him for helping him 13 years ago.
My daughter was sick and we were in the hospital at that time. I was at the end of my rope because she was terminally ill. I did not have money for her medical expenses.
13 years ago, Xie Lianggao's daughter had septicemia. Xie Yuezhang, who was visiting his relatives in the hospital, saw that she was in a critical state. He did not hesitate to help.
She was 13 years old then. We gave him some money for her treatment. She was very ill and they needed our help, so we helped them.
Xie Lianggao said that he felt very grateful and could not believe a complete stranger offered his help.
I couldn't understand why he wanted to help me. I mean, we were strangers. We only met in the hospital.
This stranger paid for his daughter's medical expenses without a moment's hesitation. He also found his family a place to stay when they left their mountain village to visit their daughter at the hospital. Xie Yuezhang even left them money to help them with their everyday needs. With the support he gave them, Xie Lianggao's daughter underwent an operation and eventually recovered. Xie Yuezhang feels happy whenever he helps other people. For the institutions in Wanli, acts of charity bring happiness. This belief has been influencing villagers for generations. There are over 30 ancestral halls of all sizes here. Acts of charity are recorded in almost all the genealogies. The Xie family of Wanli Village has been known for advocating charity since ancient times. During Emperor Lizhong's reign, the first ancestor of the Xie family, named Xie Hushan, served as the magistrate of Chaozhou. He and his family went to Wanli village from Putian, Fujian. On his arrival, he fought against the bandits and the Yuan and showed compassion towards the people. Emperor Duzhong awarded him the Golden Token, thus giving him the name Magistrate of the Token. 79-year-old Xie Jishong is of the 26th generation of the Xie family. Their family genealogy has been preserved for over a century. It contains the record of his ancestors' many acts of charity.
Xie Ji. Ji means memory. His stylized name is Hong Yi. The name refers to his enthusiasm for ensuring public welfare.
Xie Ji is of the 9th generation of their family. He is called Sir Yang Xin by his descendants. Xie Ji lived during the Ming Dynasty. He was always glad to donate to charities. These were not only well celebrated by his relatives, but were also recorded in the annals of Haiyang County and Chaozhou. In the annals of Haiyang County, his charitable acts include donating fields to families to support them, building schools to educate the people, providing assistance to those who need to bury their dead, and he was known as a righteous man.
When the school building needed fixing, he gave the money to have it repaired. He even provided free coffins to families who couldn't afford to buy one when one of their loved ones passed away.
Shunse said, "A man will be introspective when he sees charitable behavior." Ancestors of the Xie family believed that recording acts of charity would promote the family tradition of being helpful. Xie Shiyi belongs to the 27th generation. He was consecrated in the Shiyi Hall. When he was still alive, he was highly respected by everyone because of his benevolence. He was elected president of the Xie Family Association and the Tongfang Charitable Institution. His children admired him for both his kindness and compassion.
I remember one incident when we were poor, and my father went to buy rice in the market. He ran into a sick man along the way. My father gave him the money so that he can buy his medication. He ended up coming home empty-handed. My father taught us to be kind always, to spend our money wisely, to behave and live our lives harmoniously at all times.
His father's stories are carved on the stone wall to serve as a lesson for his descendants. His 10 children inherited his passion of helping people. His eldest son, Xie Yuezheng, has a pension of less than 3,000 yuan a month, but he donates tens of thousands to charities. He has now taken over his father's position as president of the Tongfang Charitable Institution. His youngest son, Xie Chuchang, once donated 500,000 yuan to start a village fund. The Xie family is the true embodiment of the spirit of charity.
I believe that true happiness doesn't mainly come from having material possessions. Instead, it essentially comes from one's spirit. If a man spends his entire life doing good deeds, like being kind and helping people who are in need, he'll be happy. Then he will discover a sense of purpose and self-worth. He'll realize it. Now, if that sense of self-worth will be made known to others, if they are shared and promoted all throughout the village, it will inspire them. It will be like a gene or a part of all the people in Wanli village who hear it. An inspiring event and good environment play an important role in maintaining a peaceful and harmonious society.
For the people of Wanli, it is important to do good deeds from the heart. An instruction saying, "Do not do evil things, though they may be insignificant," is displayed on the Yang family's ancestral hall. To do good is considered as the first and most important rule that serves as a guide for future generations.
It says, be kind, charitable, and do good deeds to accumulate virtue. These writings teach future generations to make kindness their moral foundation.
Over the past 800 years, the Yang family have adhered to their family teachings. During Emperor Wuzhong's reign, brothers Yang Dian and Yang Wei became imperial scholars in succession. The emperor praised both of the brothers for successfully passing the exam. The village was named Wanli then. Yang Dian and Yang Wei served the civilians. They were never accused of corruption. When they retired, they only took a ship of pebbles with them.
You wonder why they brought home pebbles? They were used to repair bridges and roads for the village. The brothers did many good things to help the people of Wenli. Their portraits are hung in all ancestral halls to commemorate them. In such a way, they will never be forgotten.
The Yang clan is a large family, and many belonging to this family have been charitable. And you're about to meet one of them.
There was a time when the people were in distress because of natural calamities and problems caused by men. So the four main Yang families at that time decided to pay the village's rent and taxes for the entire year to help them. That way, the people did not need to worry about it.
From the late Qing dynasty to the early Republic of China, society was in turmoil because of natural calamities and problems caused by men. The Yang families, with Yang Juanwan and Yang Shitian, assumed the taxes of over 1,000 families to help the village get through the hard times. This is a century-old residence, but the phrase "more grace for more merit" carved on the door header still looks new. It reminds future generations that the more good deeds they do, the more grace their descendants will receive.
The Chinese community has been valuing morality since ancient times, but people must know that morality is not something you obtain easily. It is something that must be learned over a long period of time, and it is by doing good deeds constantly. Look, a person will be considered virtuous when he has already learned enough moral principles. The virtues we learn are reflected in our good deeds. According to the Book of Changes, the family with much benevolence will always be blessed. If every member of the family keeps doing good, they will be supported and respected by everyone. They will also receive good fortune. As the saying goes, what goes around comes around. That is why Chinese people always encourage others to do good things, and why elders teach the younger generation what they should do and what they should not do, and what they can't do even if they feel like they are being threatened.
Over the past 800 years, the people of Wanli village have come up with effective methods on how to help others. Among all the charities in Wanli village, the Parent Association is the oldest. The association started during the Southern Song Dynasty. It is a charity wherein the villagers care for the elderly, and there are a dozen like it in the village. Yongyi Parent Association is the largest. Presidents of such associations must be known to be charitable and enthusiastic about serving the elderly. Yang Chi-chun is 54 years old and has been the president of the Yongyi Parent Association for nearly 20 years. Community members are having their monthly meeting today. The Parent Association has adopted a membership system. Once a man is a member, his family can enjoy membership benefits as well. Each member should accept the work assigned to them by the association. With the shift system, all members must take turns to look after the elderly.
Yang Qiming, Yang Qihuang, Yang Yingcai, Cai Ruiming. The four people I called will take turns to look after the elderly.
62-year-old Huang Junxiao is a member of the Yongyi Parent Association. He willingly performs the tasks assigned to him. He and his brother have been taking care of a 77-year-old woman for a long time now. The woman's name is Yang Huihua, Huang Junxiao's neighbor. She had rickets at the age of 5 and cannot look after herself. Her parents passed away 40 years ago. Huang Junxiao's parents were taking care of her before, but now Huang Junxiao and his brother have taken over the responsibility.
This is where she lived?
Yes, Yang Huihua used to live here.
Her place looks clean. How can she let you know if she needs you, or if there is an emergency?
I will know when she knocks this stool.
When Huang Junxiao moved into a new house, he brought Yang Huihua to live with him. This way, he can take better care of her. Chun Li Wan is Huang Junxiao's sister-in-law. For years, she has been preparing Yang Huihua's meals and makes sure she is well groomed.
What did your husband tell you before you got married?
Well, when my husband and I were preparing to get married, he already mentioned that his mother wants to look after a woman living next to their house.
Did he ask you to take care of her?
No, he didn't ask me to do that.
Ever since Chun Li Wan married, she has taken the responsibility of looking after Yang Huihua. Taking care of her for 20 years was not an easy task for her. There were many challenges along the way. But helping others is not only an inherited virtue, but also a constant practice for the people in this community. People in Wanli village demonstrate their kindness little by little through their actions.
There are many elements in Chinese culture, but the Chinese place the highest premium on Confucianism, and benevolence is the foundation of Confucianism. Benevolence refers to universal love. A man is benevolent if he loves everyone in the world. It is reflected in his good deeds and his care for others. It also means being kind and caring towards everyone, the widower, the widow, the orphan, and the childless. A benevolent man respects other families the same way he respects his own. His parents are equal to other elders because he treats them the same way. It will be part of his nature. He would not only do his filial duty to his parents, but also care for other parents. He would treat and care for them like his own family. If we dig deep, this idea in Chinese culture can be traced back to the concept of benevolence in Confucianism.
There is a fire engine in Taiha Charity that is over 100 years old. This fire engine was left by the volunteer fire brigade at the Taiha Charitable Institution. The institution is now a volunteer fire department in Wanli village. Their charitable spirit and bravery for a cause were inherited from their ancestors. The village fire department has put out hundreds of fires since the founding of New China. It has been in operation for over 65 years. This is a non-paying part-time job for the 16 members. Each of them was once wounded while firefighting. Aside from saving people, they also raise money for fire victims. Learning is important. Accumulating virtue brings prosperity to a family. The villagers of Wanli believe that doing charity is the greatest kind of work, so they encourage people to do good as well. Helping and rewarding learning has become a common practice. Different families in Wanli village fund scholarships to send poor children to school, so that no child will ever drop out of school because of poverty. Yang Zhongyi is a doctoral supervisor at Sun Yat-sen University. He is also from the Yang family. Even though he has never lived in Wanli village, he loves his hometown very much. Whenever he visits, he goes to the old house of his family and talks with the elders about their ancestors in the ancestral hall. Yang Zhongyi's father, Yang Yue, had to drop out of school in the 3rd grade because he could no longer afford it. He became a famous writer in Guangdong by studying independently. He was passionate about education because he was unable to finish school. 18 years ago, when he visited Singapore, he called on all Yang family members in Southeast Asia to help him fund a scholarship for poor students. Now, Yang Zhongyi is in charge of the scholarship fund. Awarding bonuses to excellent students and teachers in Chawan district is very important to him.
According to the 3-character classic, people are naturally good at birth, but I care more about social responsibility. So I think that doing good things are fulfilling my sense of social responsibility.
For the people of Wanli village, kindness is a virtue and a responsibility, and doing good to others is a way to succeed and attain happiness. The Book of Rights says that the foundation for building a nation and governing the people is good education. A person can do many charitable deeds, but priority is given to helping others with education. In Chawan district, thousands of students and teachers are supported by the Yang Wenqin and the Yang Shoulun scholarships. Children who benefited from this never forget what the foundation did for them. When they become adults, they go back to the foundation to do their part. Yang Chuen was once a scholar of Wanli Primary School. Today, he has come to the ceremony with his friends who were also supported by the foundation.
We have to return the help and kindness extended to us when we were the ones in need. So today, former students have come here to donate to the foundation.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yang Chuen tells us that he and his two brothers would not have finished school or lived a good life had they not been helped by the charities in the village. After Yang Chuen graduated from the university, he did not choose to work in the big city. Instead, he stayed in his hometown. He wants to give back using what he learned. He has also joined the Chawan Federation of Volunteers, who spend their spare time helping others in need. Help given during times of crisis should always be repaid. Virtue and kindness have been passed down for generations because the villagers have grateful hearts.
Come here. Kneel in front of the memorial tablets of the first ancestors and later ancestors. Let us kneel.
At the end of each year, ancestral halls in Wanli village hold sacrificial activities. The Xie family follows a custom for worshiping ancestors. Elders express their admiration for their ancestors through washing their faces, burning incense, and offering tea.
Do charitable actions to benefit the whole nation. Descendants should do this and teach the next generation.
For 800 years, the funeral oration for ancestors has reminded descendants of what they should do. For the people of Wanli village, doing charity is not only a moral obligation that has been passed down for generations, it is also the source of happiness.
耀眼光芒。